Hello, my friends. Thank you for joining me. I'm Dorothy Morgan, professional astrologer. I'm going to talk about the new moon in the sign of Cancer, and that is on June 28th. It's late in the evening on the East Coast of the United States. It is at, looking at the chart right in front of me, it's at 10:52 p.m. However, before the new moon is the waning lunar phase. So it's the final quarter, and we're just about in the balsamic phase, so the last 45 degrees of this lunar phase. And if you've not paying attention, then you have no idea what's happened on June 24th. However, it's quite an emotional event this morning out of Washington, D.C., and the Supreme Court decision to turn over Roe v. Wade. 50 years it stood, and here we are, and it's raising a lot of emotions. I tried to record this about 4 or 5 hours ago before I'm getting to it now, just because I just needed to sit with it and just like, how do I talk about the new moon in Cancer when there's so much turmoil and so many things going on right now in here in the country. And I think I've put together some stuff that feels comfortable to me, and I want to talk about it. And I've written a forecast. It's on my blog, which is DorothyMorganAstrologer.com. You can join the website there. There's no cost to join the website, or you can get on the email list and I will send it directly to your inbox. I have not published it yet. I will soon. I'm going to try and do everything simultaneously, and it's tonight, June 24th. So I'm going to try and do that. So this is what the chart looks like for the new moon right here. And there's just, we're on the heels of Neptune retrograde. So Neptune just turned retrograde. Will turn retrograde just a few hours before this new moon. But right now we're actually see if I can do a new share. Right now we're in that balsamic lunar phase, and here's just where we are now. We're in the balsamic lunar phase, so we're not quite in the Cancer energy. But the thing that I really want to cover is, so now June 24th, on the day of this recording and sending this out to you guys, until we get to that new moon in Cancer, we have an awful lot of stress going on. A lot of people are really feeling the tension of this, right? So when we have a new moon, this is how I like to look at it. When we have a new moon, we especially in the zodiac sign it's in Cancer, we're reminded, one way or another, what's important in our lives, right? How are we feeling? And this is what happens before new moons all the time. It's that balsamic lunar phase. So what's happened right now nationally for us here in the US, is quite emotional, and it's activating a lot of emotions. So the questions, all kinds of questions can come up. The things that I thought about, do I feel secure? So do you feel secure? Are your needs being met? What's the state of your family, right? These are things that happen when we are engaged in a new moon in Cancer. We want to start to create these things. So, and again, with this happening with the Supreme Court, it's stirred up so many emotions around the right to choose or not to choose to have a family. And I'm not going to debate with anybody. And if anything comes below, I'm just going to delete it, because this is not a debate. This is just my opinion, and I get to have my opinion. And so let's be respectful of that. But to me, people's emotions are heightened, and we're feeling it intensely. So look at what's being activated for you. Some people will call it trigger. I want you to say activated. And because what happens right now before we get to the new moon is this process of realization, recognition. What is it that I need to let go of? What do I need to process? How do I need to clear the space in my heart, the space in my emotion, even the space in your home? So pay attention to that. And with this new moon happening just after Neptune goes retrograde, it's like a few hours before or after, and at a 90-degree angle to Jupiter, this means that we're not going to know. We're going to feel unsure. We're going to feel unsure about the state of things and what's happening. And again, you may even have some emotions surface that you've forgotten about. And that's things coming to the surface that have been hidden for such a long time. You know, we're a nation born under the Cancer sun, obviously July 4th. And but it's not just this new moon that's creating, and no, it doesn't even create, but it's a representation of what's going on around us, just being very selfish and looking at the United States only. But there's so many other things going on in the world too. But this is just our thing right now. The United States is having its Pluto return and having this new moon very close to the United States moon. It happens once a year, but you know, Pluto, we have the Pluto is returned, it's conjunct, it's there. So a lot of old laws, maybe even if it's outdated, a lot of things are breaking down. We see this across the board over these last few years. And with all these things breaking down, you know, at some point, we'll have the opportunity to build things back up. All right. So there's that piece. So let's shift out of the gear of politics and what's happening around us. Let's shift away from that and look at, I want you to think about what in your family, you know, what's come up before this new moon. So what does it feel like? What's going on? Where do you feel insecure? What steps do you need to take to feel secure? What steps do you need to take to feel safe and protected? You know, and answering these questions. It's personal for each of us, right? So what does that mean to you? Start setting goals based off of that, because that's what we always do with the new moon. I just didn't want to make this new moon forecast too light and fluffy because we are feeling really emotional right now. Because what does every one of us need? Excuse me, I have an itch. What does every one of us need? We need to feel safe, nurtured, and secure. So even with all of these emotions that are surfacing right now, focusing and bringing it back to our everyday life is what's important. Because another piece of what a new moon in Cancer is asking us to do is to focus and stay centered on your own feelings. And that's what we need to do with that. So understanding your own feelings and whatever is the next step. All right. So set those goals with those things in mind, but please wait until after the new moon. So that's the 28th. And oops, I can see the time right here. It's June 28th and 10:52 in the evening. All right. And so just set those goals and do it not from a place of fear. Do it from a place of love in your heart. That's going to be so important because a lot of people are running on fear now. And it's not just this, of course, this is just one more thing in the history of what's going on in the United States. Crazy. You know, I mean, and personally, like me, personally, I know a few people right now who are battling different types of cancer. 4 people personally know them. They're not even just acquaintances between the ages of 30 and 72. So it doesn't even matter. The age doesn't matter. How do you think they feel? I mean, their feelings, their emotion, fighting this battle. I know 3 women who have lost their partners to sudden death recently. And a friend just last night had a heart attack. He's in the hospital. He's doing okay. He's holding his own. He's in his 80s, but that's irrelevant. Sweet person, very nice man. His family's with him. All of these things are Cancer, the energy of that zodiac sign of Cancer. Family comes together in time of need. And so we need each other at times like this. So we can disagree. I feel like I'm lecturing now, sorry. We can disagree, but we don't need to be divided. So I think I'm going to stop my share now. And yeah, so work with that. I was going to leave us with that. And so that's what I'm going to leave for the weekend too, folks, because I need a break. I've been working my rear end off, helping another astrologer through what she has going on by helping her clients while she cannot. So it's taken a lot of time, which is an honor for me. I'm glad I can help. All right. You're welcome to comment below, but no debate, no arguing, please. I will remove it. Thank you so much, everybody. I will be back on Monday, whatever date that is. That's when the new moon is. Hey, you never know. I might throw something else up. I'll be back on Monday because I have some things I want to talk about for Monday. And again, the new moon is Tuesday, the 28th. But hey, maybe I'll pop something up here over the weekend. I don't know. We'll see. Blessings, everybody. Namaste.